This video is not for the faint of heart. We will be discussing some of the deepest and darkest secrets of the treachery that happens on Twitch.tv that isn't fully visible from the outside. It encompasses some topics that most people will find both disgusting and terrifying. Even though these topics are extremely controversial, I do believe they should still be discussed because real people are affected by them every day. We will start with topics that are dark and uncomfortable, but as the video goes on, the topics will progressively get more ominous and grim, or as some people would say, further down into the iceberg. In this case, we'll be diving past that into the abyss. If you made it this far, it's your last chance to turn back. You've been warned. If you open up Twitch.tv, you'll be greeted by a page with various stream recommendations, along with a bar on the left detailing who you follow. This is the surface level of Twitch, only showing some of the top streams that Twitch knows you might like. In order to find a new streamer, you need to go all the way to the top, click on Browse, then click on a topic you like. You then need to look through the pages and pages of different streamers to find one you like. To get someone to actually go on your stream, there are so many hoops that they have to hop through. Why would someone look through all these pages of random streamers if they could just click one time on the front page to watch a more popular streamer? There are some users that go through these pages to find smaller streamers, but in reality, only a small percentage of viewers actually do this. Point is, this hurts smaller streamers more than anything else, and it created a system where only the top established streamers get all of the viewers. From Twitch's perspective, they want to collect as much advertisement revenue as possible, so they designed the website in a way where it gets the user to spend more and more time watching streams. Because of this, it makes more sense to direct people to streamers that are already successful, where they have proven to keep viewers on the website for longer, hence Twitch making more money. Even though Twitch.tv became more profitable from this system made it almost impossible for new streamers to succeed if they only attempt to do so through the Twitch website. Truthfully, if a new streamer wanted to make it as a successful content creator, their best shot would be to get lucky on livestream fails, become one of the best at a specific game, or gain their audience through something else, which would then translate to viewers on Twitch.tv. According to Wired.com, of the 6 million people who create content on the platform, more than 90% stream to fewer than 6 viewers. 25% of the top 10,000 highest paid streamers make less than minimum wage. Streamers such as Uber dedicated their life to Twitch. In his case, so much so that he got face tattoos to cement his ride or die attitude to becoming a popular streamer. He fully committed to becoming one, and in the end, he was forced to give up. The last that remains of his streaming career is a video of him warning people about going all out on becoming a streamer.
When you're trying to become a streamer, and after 3 years, I only have around 6,000 followers after 3 years. And that's going hard for 3 years. That's going real hard. 5 days a week, 7-hour streams, doing multiple different things to try and stand out. And you're going to lose your girlfriend like I did. You're going to lose all your friends like I did because you're constantly in the house playing the game, trying to be there at the right place at the right time, trying to get your face out there. Because if you don't stream, nobody sees you. I had a lot of good times, but at the end of the day, bro, it's like some people just don't make it, bro. Some people just don't make it. Some people just don't get there, man.
Even though Uber seemed to have done everything right, he put in the hours, had the dedication, and he even devoted his life to streaming, dropping everything else. Unfortunately, he didn't end up making it, and the harsh reality is that you have to get a little bit lucky as well. This kind of scenario is more common than you might think. And Twitch isn't doing anything to help these people, because for Twitch, it simply wouldn't be as profitable. Now, this shouldn't deter anyone from chasing their dreams. In my opinion, there are better ways to make it, like posting on YouTube, for example. YouTube makes its algorithms much more forgiving, and if you make well-made videos that people enjoy, you will do well on this website. If you really are after streaming, you can move to that once you have the viewer base. According to Dr. K, a Twitch streamer that actually doubles as a psychiatrist, he explained that parasocial relationships are as follows. Parasocial relationships on Twitch are one-sided psychological bonds between a streamer and a viewer, where the audience feels intimately connected to the broadcaster without the feelings being reciprocated. Sometimes, the viewer can develop feelings of a deep personal connection with some of their favorite streamers. The viewer creates this psychological scenario where the streamer is one of their close friends or acquaintances. Obviously, this is not true, but it would make sense that this could occur if every day the viewer is watching the stream obsessively. For the most part, the streamer sees the viewer only as a name, quickly scrolling by in the chat. Clearly, this is only a one-sided relationship.
How could we not get attached to someone like you? Just treat it like you would treat the TV show Mad Men. You shouldn't form a relationship with me. At the end of the day, I'm entertainment. If I stop entertaining, you stop watching. That's it. That's what I want from you guys, because I'm not your friend. I will never, ever hang out with you, and I don't care about you because I don't know you. I can't. There are 13,000 people here. I can't care about all of you because I don't know any of you. So all I do is I turn on Twitch, I treat you like a coherent body of people, and I stream to entertain. That's all I do.
Many Twitch creators stream for hours on end, leaving viewers with plenty of content to consume every day. Believe it or not, if you spend countless hours with a person, even if you are just watching them speak through a screen, your brain will develop some type of relationship with that individual. Technology seems to have outpaced evolution in a way where our brains have not yet quite adapted to this relatively new phenomenon of live streaming. A streamer by the name of Mitch Jones has had to deal with one extremely strange viewer who created a parasocial relationship with him, but this one is more extreme than others. This viewer goes by the name of Vampire Craig and has created this false reality where he and Mitch Jones are a married couple. Because of his obsession, Vampire Craig became a bit of a meme in Mitch Jones' community, so he eventually had the chance to speak with Mitch on Discord.
Okay, Craig, can you speak your business? Speak your piece.
Hello.
Hello, Craig. How are you?
Wait, what the fuck is that? Who the hell's Craig?
It's Craig, man. It's Craig. Relax.
I'm his boyfriend.
No, you're not my
Yeah?
boyfriend. You're not my boyfriend. Listen, Craig. I'm gonna be real.
I'm
with
your
you.
boyfriend.
No, you're not my boyfriend. You're not. You're not my boyfriend.
Why would you speak to your boyfriend like that?
No, hey, Brittany, hush. Okay, be quiet.
You might be thinking, oh, this is just a dude trolling to get attention from Mitch Jones in the stream. Unfortunately, this is not the case. Vampire Craig was someone with severe mental health issues, so much so that he even posted a video of himself masturbating to a picture of Mitch Jones on Pornhub. Along with this, he has had a long history of saying strange things in both Twitch chat and Reddit, so it's safe to say this is the real deal. For the most part, parasocial relationships are absolutely harmless, although in specific situations, this phenomenon has led to some terrifying experiences. For some streamers, it can be even more terrifying than what Mitch Jones had to deal with, especially if it leads to stalking. In some cases, it can even be deadly. Twitch has become a breeding place for stalkers to find their next prey to obsess over. It seems that a lot of these stalking incidents go hand in hand with some of the parasocial relationships that some viewers tend to cultivate while watching the streamer. These stalkers take these things much more seriously than the average viewer that may develop a parasocial relationship. Unlike Vampire Craig, which was an extreme example but was ultimately harmless, these stalkers take things to the next level. Instead of keeping things online, they seek out the streamer in real life, potentially attempting to harm that person. Mental illness is the driving factor for these stalkers, so it's highly likely they're extremely unpredictable in what they decide to do. For streamers, worrying about stalkers has simply become part of the job. A career that you once thought was safe has turned into something that could be extremely dangerous, even if you're just in your own home. SodaPoppin, one of the earliest streamers on the platform, has had to deal with various stalkers throughout his career. One stalker in particular stood out.
So this guy came over to our house. This is the next guy. And I was streaming, and Nick let him in. He seemed like a normal guy. He looked normal. I mean, a little bit socially kind of awkward, you could tell. That's just gamers in general, so we didn't mind. Apparently the guy drove 17 hours to get to our house. So we let him sleep there and we thought he knew. Okay, this isn't my place. I'm an uninvited guest. I should leave tomorrow morning, get my rest and leave. Because they had to drive 17 hours back, so we let him sleep. But he didn't leave. This is when it gets fucked up. This is when shit goes haywire. So at this point, Nick tells me, you need to tell that kid to be gone. This kid has already brought his computer into our house, plugged it in, started trying to plug his hard drive into our new computer we just bought. So I said, yes, you need to leave. And he's like, but like, you need me. Like, you need something fresh and amazing for the stream, and the stream loves me. I need to live here. And I'm like, yes, tell him to leave. Please be the man of the house. She goes in there and just fucking lays down the law. And so he came up and he said, goodbye, man. And he's like, I left something for you. That's what he said. And then he left. He left literally pills of just straight up drugs and weed all up in that bitch. And we burned him. Oh, we burned the fuck out of him. Oh, hell no. And that was the end of the creature. So if you come to my fucking house, you're sitting on the porch and you're not coming inside. I'm sorry. He ruined it. He ruined it.
A few years after that happened, the creature attempted to speak to Sodapoppin again, but this time at TwitchCon, during one of Andy's IRL streams.
Please don't talk to me. Yeah, seriously, don't. I'm on your medication. I really don't want to talk to you. It's a serious thing. Seriously, you creep me out. You've done some weird stuff. That's the creature.
When Sodapoppin or other male streamers have to deal with stalkers, it's usually just an over-attached fan, but for female streamers, it's much worse. Most of these stalkers have romantic or sinister motives and have dropped everything in their life to track down these female streamers and get to them. Jade Yan is a popular German streamer who mainly hosts her streams in the Just Chatting section. When she was only 20 years old, she had one of her first encounters in dealing with stalkers.
What the actual fuck is wrong with you? And the person ordered 25 pizzas from me. 20 fucking 5! And I asked them, the person called said my name to them. And you know I was streaming. At no point I could have called the freaking workers.
The stalkers ordered pizzas to her residence, and would even call in gas leaks, triggering the fire department to come to her place. At that apartment, even her neighbor would act creepy, and was once caught looking through some of her mail sent by fans. She would soon move out to another apartment. But things would take a turn for the worst when she got a call from her dad. Somehow, a stalker was able to make it appear as if her dad was calling her from her dad's phone. He told her he had her dad tied up next to him, and he threatened to kill her dad if she didn't show her boobs on stream. Jade asked then to speak to her dad before she showed her boobs, but the stalker declined. After ultimately refusing to show her boobs, moments later, the stalker said he'd killed her dad. Luckily, a mod in the chat was able to contact Jade's uncle, who found her dad safe and asleep while all of this was going on. Jade quickly called the police right after. Another well-known stalking incident happened with another streamer called Caitlyn, or better known as Amaranth. As the most viewed female streamer on Twitch, it seems that this is the norm for her. She has had numerous encounters dealing with stalkers and creepy individuals in the past, although this one would be vastly more terrifying than any of the other stalkers she's ever had to deal with. It got so bad that Amaranth was forced to tweet about this individual. I have a stalker who has been in my area since May 8th. He literally watches my stream all day and badly mimics everything I do. Does ASMR badly, takes a shower on his stream when I'm in the hot tub. In the past, I have reported him for restreaming me, but because he has traveled all the way from Estonia to my city, living in a nearby hotel, I want his stream to remain up so I can keep a close tab on him. I have a security system, a pew-pew device, and lately, I have had an armed employee living in the guest quarters. Part of the reason why I'm taking this so seriously is because he has professed that he has sold all of his worldly possessions, his residence, and everything he owns to make the trip, and he's racking up a mighty bill on his charge card. This setup doesn't give him any outs, so as he depletes his resources and doesn't have any options here, and I fear for my life that he might do something drastic. The police are aware of the situation. They know what hotel he's in, and they have a regular patrol, but they can't yet do anything, despite his intent to come find me. He has literally made his Twitch title on his stream, "Find Caitlin and make her mine." Please don't report the account. His streams are valuable intel for my well-being and peace of mind. What makes this whole thing terrifying is that this man had absolutely nothing to lose. He left his home country in Estonia, left his cat, and is living off of his credit card until everything comes crashing down. He quite literally was all in to make things work out with Amaranth. He claims that she is his fiancée, but in reality, she is a stranger on the internet who he watches on stream. He spams her with hateful messages, even sending her naked videos of himself dancing, reminiscent of a scene in Silence of the Lambs, a movie about a serial killer. Even with Amaranth telling this man to stay away from her, he'd say, "Liar, liar, fiancé." It's clear that this man is beyond insane, and Amaranth's safety is in jeopardy while this man is free to do what he wants in her city. The police were fully aware of this situation, but didn't do anything, even though his intent to contact her was very clear. For multiple days, he would camp out at her P.O. box, watching from a nearby Starbucks, waiting for her to pick up her mail from fans, so that he can strike. He spent a whole month of his life doing that, just in case she would show up. Amaranth was forced to hire a personal security guard, who would even sleep at her place. In situations like this, things usually get worse before they get better, especially if something is not done about the obvious threat. Amaranth kept trying to get this man apprehended or shipped out, but the police refused to help. Unfortunately, lo and behold, things would escalate to a whole new level when he showed up outside Amaranth's property. Again, the police decided to do absolutely nothing, and soon after, he attempted to break into her house.
So basically, he was walking around outside of my house, going up and down the street for about 30 minutes. And then he started coming to my door and banging on it. He was saying all the time, like, "I shouldn't be here. I know I shouldn't, but I have to." He was pretty intense on getting in because he started peering in my windows, started jiggling with all the door handles, like trying to open them. He would hear my dogs barking and be like, "I hear her dogs. This is her." So he was very intent on getting in. So that was really scary because the police weren't really taking it too seriously until he was physically like in my lot, right? Up and down the street. They were just like, whatever. Took them like 33 minutes to come, even though the police station's like 5 minutes away.
Luckily, when the police did show up, they arrested him. His embassy was contacted by the department, and he was soon shipped out of Houston. Not much is known about him after that, but it's ever so clear that if this individual didn't stream his every action, things could have played out much differently for Amaranth. This really does pose the question: at what point do these creepy messages and motives turn into something that the police should actually take seriously? In Sweet Anita's case, a stalker was spying on her and assaulting her for years. He would literally sleep in her backyard and watch her through her window. He would even sit on his knees and look at her through her letterbox on the front door when she walked downstairs. Even after many restraining orders, he would continue to bother her without any real repercussions. She would constantly call the police, in which they told her to lock her doors and call 911 if he shows up again. They didn't really take her issues seriously, much like what happened with Amaranth. The stalker even showed up at her house with a knife, threatening to kill her. The police ended up detaining him, but after did absolutely nothing and let him free 3 minutes away from her house.
Can you get into the numerous stalking encounters that you've had?
There was a guy who became obsessed with me. He moved from some other country in Europe to live down the street from me. He'd wait in my back garden for me to leave the house and follow me. He would threaten to kill me in front of everyone on stream. The police weren't doing anything. One time they caught him and they frisked him and they got a knife off him and they just released him 3 minutes away from my house again. One time I walked down the stairs and he was looking through the letterbox. I started to pass. I was, wait a minute, and I looked back. There were just his eyes through the letterbox.
I mean, you say that
just closed it slowly.
The stories from these streamers are just the tip of the iceberg. Amaranth, Sweet Anita, and Jade are all big streamers, so they have an easier time making more people aware of their situation. Many of the smaller streamers also have similar experiences, But without a large audience, it can be even more daunting, especially when they can't make their voices heard by many. This is clearly a big issue for live streamers. In the world we live in today, it's becoming increasingly easier to find out where someone lives. In the past, there have been incidents of stalkers that have actually shown up at a creator's residence and literally killed them. At this point, it's really only a matter of time until something like this happens on Twitch, unless something is done about the issue. Maybe the police need to be more proactive, or maybe Twitch needs to allocate more resources to these streamers in need, or maybe there's another solution. Point is, the fix to this issue isn't necessarily an easy one to find. Although, this is a problem that really needs to be addressed before it's too late. In some of the darkest corners of Twitch.tv lies malicious users, hiding behind the anonymity of their profiles. They use grooming tactics to prey upon young, susceptible streamers, many of which aren't even old enough to be streaming on Twitch. These evil users scour the depths of Fortnite, Just Chatting, Minecraft, Roblox, and other sections that underage streamers might be on. Once they find their target, they then begin to chat. You might be thinking, what are these predators attempting to accomplish? Well, that's the scary part. In a lot of cases, we don't really know how far they will attempt to go. After finding their target, the predator attempts to chat with the young streamer to earn their trust. Once they accomplish that, they either begin to make disgusting demands or try to take the conversation to a private room on Discord or another app. Because it is so difficult to gain any viewers on Twitch, the predators use this as leverage, threatening that they will leave the stream unless the naive streamer does exactly what they say. Unfortunately, this works more often than what you might think. In September 2022, Bloomberg, which is a global data and news corporation, created an article investigating this issue in depth. Bloomberg looked into around 2,000 Twitch accounts that had been flagged for consistently seeking out and following young streamers. These accounts would be used by predators to watch and manipulate children into doing what they want. From these 2,000 accounts, almost 300,000 underage streamers were targeted, and many of the accounts were exclusively following young streamers, some following over 1,000 child accounts. Although, these are just the accounts that the algorithm caught, so it's likely there are many other users that are doing this, but somehow staying under the radar. After these investigations, Twitch released this statement. Preventing child harm is one of our most fundamental responsibilities as a society. We do not allow children under 13 to use Twitch, and preventing our service from being used for harm is one of our biggest priorities. We know that online platforms can be used to cause harm to children, and we have made extensive investments over the last 2 years to better stay ahead of bad actors and prevent any users who may be under 13 from accessing Twitch. Twitch wasn't just saying this to appease people concerned. They actually quadrupled the size of their law enforcement response team while working with the NCMEC, or National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. When Twitch catches and verifies instances of grooming, their team reports the potential predator to authorities for further investigation. Twitch is profoundly secretive on exactly how they do this, so bad actors will have a more difficult time evading their system. Even though Twitch has some of the infrastructures to combat these wrongdoers, they still aren't doing nearly as much as they could. In other streaming platforms, there are unique requirements that users have to adhere to in order to begin live streaming. For example, on YouTube, you must have at least 50 subscribers and wait at least 24 hours. On TikTok, you must be over 16 and have over 1,000 followers. Even though Twitch has set age restrictions for users to begin streaming, they don't enforce them in an effective way at all. On top of this, Twitch makes it too easy for a user to begin streaming right after they make an account. So if an underage kid gets banned from streaming, they can literally just make another account with ease and begin streaming again. This is clearly an issue. Twitch needs to allocate more resources to prevent young children from streaming, and they need to improve the detection and prevention of these predators typing in chat. Live streaming is unique and sometimes unpredictable. Pashibrid was one of the top World of Tanks streamers on Twitch. Over a 5-year period, he donated over $11,000 to charity from his live streams. In 2017, 22 hours deep in one of his 24-hour live streams, he told the chat that he was going out for a smoke break. Hours would pass, and Pashibrid would unfortunately never make it back on stream. While his viewers thought he had fallen asleep, he had actually died in his room that night, at 35 years of age. He was a father of 3 and was known as a great man and streamer. It was later confirmed that he succumbed to an accidental fentanyl overdose while he was off stream. Someone who had access to his Twitter account tweeted, "The end, rest in peace." Other streamers have suffered a similar fate on stream, such as the death that happened in 2014 on Justin TV, which was one of the first iterations of Twitch.tv. Abraham Briggs was only 19 years old when he decided to take a fatal dose of opioids to end his life on stream. Beforehand, he posted about his struggles on a forum online, but was met with people disbelieving that he would go through with anything Jurassic. On the stream, instead of calling for help, some viewers cracked jokes and watched as Abraham fell into a coma and died. The few viewers that actually tried to call for help were far too late. When the paramedics finally got there to try to save him, he was already dead. Most of these streamers never meant to harm anyone else. They were just caught in unfortunate scenarios and the events that unfolded. One user in particular, though, did have intentions to harm others. The most horrible thing that has ever happened on Twitch was a mass shooting that happened in 2022 in Buffalo, New York. The gunman entered a grocery store with a camera mounted on his body and shot 13 people. The stream only lasted 2 minutes, as Twitch was swiftly made aware of the situation, although the damage was already done, and 11 of those people would eventually die. Things like this are absolutely chilling. It's disheartening that someone would commit such an atrocity and stream it online for other evil individuals to watch. I don't really have much else to say about this. It's just sad that things like this can happen in the world we live in today.